The first phase of the Hello sequence was building a wind machine that was large enough for us to be able to rehearse. So we built one of the world's largest wind tunnels.
This is the opportunity to prove what we really are capable of. We are doing something that has never been done before.
I don't think that anyone has the right ingredients like AERODIUM to be able to do this.
Due to the tight deadlines, this was an unprecedentedly ambitious project. Basically, we had 2 weeks left for designing. It was very difficult. If we don't make it in time, he will rather cut the scene from the movie. We really must achieve our goal, because the stakes for our company are really, really high. If you Google the net, you won't find a lot of manufacturers who can pull this kind of project off. Honestly, there are no choices. There's only AERODIUM who can build this kind of crazy machines. It all started when we rented out our normal-sized wind tunnel for training purposes. At that time, we didn't even know what the project was. None of us knew where we were going at that time. We went into the studio and signed a document that we can't disclose any information. Nobody told us anything, so we started guessing and searching for posters, trying to figure out whether it's going to be a James Bond movie or something else. Then somebody mentioned Tom, so we pieced it together to be Mission Impossible. The first thing Tom said when he saw the tunnel was, "The tunnel's too small." We weren't quite sure what was going to happen next. One day we had a lunch with the producers at the studio canteen and they said,
We needed a bigger one.
"How big can we build it? Whatever size you want. How about the biggest wind tunnel in the world?" We drew up the concept of a tunnel on a piece of napkin and they told us they're going to think about it. The whole production team decided that the Perryton wind tunnel was going to be expensive. 2 weeks later, after a training session, Tom goes, "When is the big wind tunnel going to be ready?" And the lead special effects technician, clearly nervous, said it didn't get approved. In disbelief, Tom replies, "What do you mean? 2 weeks ago I said we need a bigger tunnel. This one is too small. Get it done." We received a call from the producers saying that we have the green light for the tunnel. From the time we got the confirmation in April, we had until August to get it delivered in England, which was a pretty tight deadline. It was ambitious, but completely achievable. Even though we had a lot of other ongoing projects at the time, we had to clearly prioritize this one at the expense of smaller ones. Me, Vars, Kristians had a heated meeting. We were trying to leverage more time for production. At one point, Ivars got up and just said, "I'm off selling. Get it done." We did not have a lot of choices. If they work at AERODIUM, what choices do they have? They have to get it done. Counting back the time we needed for manufacturing and assembling, we had only approximately 2 weeks left for designing. We did not have the luxury to go into details. We had to make the right choices from the very beginning. It all began on the second day of Easter. I was working in my garden in the countryside when I received a call from my boss, Kristians, saying there was an urgent project. 12 days, 12 hours a day, no weekends, we work till we get it done. Are you in? I'm in. It was pretty challenging. The whole period was very stressful, as we were aware of the immense penalties if we deliver the machine late. We had to make sure the first steps are right, or the whole house of cards crumbles. We got the job done a day before the deadline. I think it was around 1 a.m. All that was left was to hand over the project to the project managers so they could start coordinating the manufacturing production process. We had more than 50 manufacturers from all around the world, including the USA, Sweden, Finland, Poland. But the most components were produced here in Latvia. The magnitude of this tunnel is beyond comparison with any open wind tunnel previously constructed. Any other wind tunnel, open or closed, is dwarfed by this machine. 800 liters an hour, just like that. Want to fly for a bit? That's 800 liters gone. A conventional household uses about 20 kilowatts. This wind tunnel consumes 3,200 kilowatts. So basically, we would be cutting off the electricity for an entire village. The first words from the producers were, "This is going to be an Oscar-winning wind tunnel. After this, no other wind tunnel feels like a wind tunnel. You step in and you can really fly." It's so close to real skydiving that once you enter the flow, you can enjoy the whole sky. You can go left, right, up and down with people flying under you, over you. The skydivers who jump in from 10 kilometers, and there's only a handful of them in the world, they were very skeptical during the whole project. And they voiced their skepticism to the producers, and the producers to Tom. But once the same skeptics flew for the first time in the tunnel, the usual serious face is now at a wide grin all over their face. Everybody was just flying and couldn't stop. They all wanted more, just like kids when mom is calling to go to lunch, but nobody wants to leave the playground. Everybody from the production team who flew in the wind tunnel said that this is the closest thing to real skydiving in a wind tunnel that they've ever experienced. I hope that everybody all around the world will have the chance to try this, because it is something unbelievable. Christopher McQuarrie came to see us fly in the wind tunnel and literally after 3 seconds said, "Tom has to see this." Took out his cell phone, called Tom, and within a minute, a Beamer BMW 7 Series sped up to the tunnel. And Tom came literally running to see me. And Tom flies in the tunnel. The only person commuting to and from work with a helicopter was Tom. You have to be ready at any time. And there were moments where I and Eric were having lunch and we receive a text that we have to be ready to fly in 5 minutes. We're driving in the car back to the studio and see the helicopter right beside us. We can see it as a bit unstable, a bit wobbly. We were unsure if it was going to crash or what. As the helicopter lands near the tunnel, we see that it's Tom piloting it. During the years of countless trainees, I can't recall a more attentive and focused student as Tom was. Like a dream student. Everything we taught him, he swallowed like warm donuts. Like warm donuts glazed with chocolate and a cherry on top. He absorbed everything instantly. When he broke his ankle during a roof-to-roof jump stunt, we thought he's going to be back flying in at least 3 months. We didn't know what was happening. We were just told that Tom suffered an injury. For all we knew, everything could have been told off, and our dream of a wind tunnel in the movie would evaporate in the air. But he was back at the tunnel after just 1.5 months. We saw Tom on set, and he was limping. We were told that he was going to fly the next day, but we saw that he was limping. He was jumping on one leg on the wind tunnel and still managed to fly. We were lucky because he loved flying. Daily filming is hard work. It's really hard work. But when Tom came to the tunnel, he was happy. He enjoyed flying very much. We succeeded in everything we did, and everything we set out to achieve, we achieved. On the day that Tom first flew in the tunnel, he told us that we had the best jobs in the world. I imagine these crazy things and I sell my crazy ideas drawn on a piece of napkin to the customer so that they believe in me. Then I have to make my people believe in themselves that they can do it as well. And not only believe that they can do it, but actually do it. As for us here at AERODIUM, it was a big deal and a huge honor to be part of this project. And when we delivered the project and the engines were running, we received an email from the producer saying,
"Nobody else in the world could have done it. And guys, you did it."